Hi everybody, it's December 9th, which means it's day 9 of the 'Tis the Season Scrappy videos series. I can't believe we're on day 9 already. So today's guest is Lina Monaco, who also has, or her YouTube channel is actually Sweet Nothings Paper Company. She has an absolutely gorgeous style. So please go check out her video for today for day 9. So for today, for the number 9, I'm actually using some photos of my kids mailing out their letter to Santa. And when I was thinking about what I was going to do for this page, I really wanted to do something with envelopes and little letters. So I found a free cut file for an envelope pattern, which I will put the link to below. So I cut these all out of different pattern papers with my silhouette, and I'm just folding them here. I'm kind of using my ruler to help me kind of put a fold line. I didn't want to go through and score them all because I'm just going to fold them simply and arrange them on my paper. And there are 9 envelopes. So I did all different sizes, all different pattern papers, and they are so super, super cute. I wish I did them a little bit bigger though, a couple of them, but it works out. So I'm just arranging them here on my page, and I fiddle around with these for a while to see exactly how I want to arrange them. And you can see I have my 3 photos there sticking out because I'm going to have it look like my photos are coming out of the envelopes. I'm sorry about my lamp in the top of the screen. That little curved thing is the top of my lamp. I cleaned off my desk. Imagine that. I actually cleaned. I cleaned off my desk, and when I put my lamp back, it was obviously in the field of view of my camera, and I didn't check it until I was completely done with the layout and went back and looked at these videos. So anyway, I will fix that for the next video. So going through just fiddling around with these. I play around with for a while with these until I decide on a specific arrangement. So I've gone through a whole bunch of stuff. As you can see, all of a sudden my desk is messy again. And I went through a whole bunch of little different packs and papers and pulling out little embellishments that I thought would work on the page. I decided on an arrangement of my envelopes, and this is how it's going to be pretty much. And I'm just going through some die cuts. This pack is from Basic Gray Juniper Berry collection, which was their Christmas collection last year. And actually, a lot of these papers are Basic Gray papers. They might all be Basic Gray papers now that I'm looking at them. It's funny because I have been using a lot of Basic Gray in this series, and I probably have 4 or 5 Basic Gray Christmas collections. I'm gonna miss them. I'm sad that they're no longer around, but oh well. I'm sure I'll find another company to fill the void. Okay, so I'm just picking out some colors. I thought the envelopes alone on the page were just kind of plain, even if they were embellished. And I wanted to add something else on the page just for a little interest, so I decided to go with some stars. And I decided on stars instead of like tags or anything like that because I wanted the other elements I added to the page, I didn't want them to be rectangular shape because I thought that would take away from the look of the envelopes. So I wanted to find something that was a different shape, so I went with stars. I found this perfect sticker on a Bella Boulevard sheet. It's a little like list or a letter, and it's printed down there. It says Dear Santa, and I thought, oh my gosh, that's going to be perfect. So that is going to stay there, and that's where I'm going to put my journaling, and that's going to be the title of my page as well. I picked some other phrase stickers that I thought were kind of like, I don't know, something that you would see on a letter, season's greetings and sending holiday cheer and Dear Santa, things like that. And I'm going to put those on some of the envelopes. I love that with these envelopes you can see, I wanted them to make them so that you could see both the paper on the outside of the envelope and the pattern on the inside too. I know the photos cover up some of the pattern on the bigger envelopes, but you can still get a little glimpse of it, and I think it really adds a lot of color to the page as well. Okay, so got all that done. Gonna take it all off now because I felt that the background was a little, I love this pattern paper. This background paper, by the way, is from Cocoa Vanilla. It was from one of their Christmas collections. I can't remember the name of it right now. So I wanted to lighten it a little bit, so I'm adding some gesso. I squeezed my bottle of gesso right on there, and I put way too much, so I'm trying to blend it in. And I couldn't find my scraper. I have a Pampered Chef scraper, like that you get for Pampered Chef pans, and I use that to scrape things a lot when I'm scraping modeling paste or gesso. Actually, I also use it to scrape my silhouette mat when I have little bits on my silhouette mat. I use my Pampered Chef scraper to scrape off the little bits. So I couldn't find it, so I just grabbed a knife, and I guess it worked. And I just blended in the rest of the paint there with my finger. Okay, coming in with some mist. This is red again. Yes, I'm trying out the red a second time on a page, and actually this red comes out really pretty. It's a little bit of a pinkish red. It's called Santa Baby, and it's a glimmer mist. And then I went and added a few drops of the Heidi Mist Color Shine. And this red is good as long as you soak it up like I did there. If you leave it on, it does really kind of look bloody, but if you soak it up, it just leaves kind of this lightish red little speck, so really pretty. Okay, I'm not sure if you could see this in the video or not, but I did mark where my envelopes were with some really faint pencil lines. So I just marked kind of the bottom right corner of each envelope, and that's how I knew exactly where to put them back when I was done. And when I take things off my page like that, I know a lot of people have been leaving comments suggesting that I take a picture and so I can remember where I do put things, and I do that sometimes. But I also, when I take the things off the page, like the things that are on the left side of the page, I'll push to the left of my desk, and the things that are on the right side of the page, I push to the right, etc., and then the top and the bottom, so that when I go back and put things on, I know, relatively speaking, where they were. And I do add little pencil lines here and there to help mark my spot. So I got the stars on there. I kind of hemmed and hawed off camera. I turned the camera off again at one point and took all the stars off because I wasn't sure if they took away from the envelopes and the design. I guess they're okay. In the final picture, they're fine. They do take away from from the envelopes a tiny bit, but if I didn't have them on there, I thought it looked too empty, so I guess it was a little bit of a compromise. I also added in some little acrylic, they're self-adhesive acrylic shapes. They're kind of like little diamond patterns, and they are different shades of blue, and they're very pretty. Those are from Pink Fresh Studio. Okay, I'm going to finally glue these envelopes down. They look so cute when they're all folded up too. Actually, this just gave me an idea. I wonder if our elf on the shelf would write tiny letters and use envelopes like that. Maybe I will have to make some little tiny envelopes for our elf on the shelf. Huh. Okay. So that middle envelope I felt needed a little something there because it was just kind of plain, the envelope on the left-hand side. So I fussy cut out this piece of this poinsettia flower. That's also a piece of cocoa vanilla paper. And I put that flower there. And my photos, I felt, needed a little lift as well because they weren't as prominent on the page as I wanted them to be. So I added some more cardstock behind the background to give them a thicker white border, which I felt really helped them stand out a little bit more. I print my photos at home. I have an HP PhotoSmart printer, and so I can print them specific sizes, so I printed them to fit into these envelopes. And so when I do that, I can cut them with a white border on them, because I print them kind of on a big piece of paper that I can cut them out. And anyway, I can cut the size of the border that I want on them, but I thought I needed to do a little bit more on these, so I added a little bit more white. Okay, so for the envelopes I don't have something in, I wanted to look like there was something coming out of the envelopes, and I had stepped away for a little while and I thought, what am I going to put in here? I was thinking about putting little tiny tags or something else, but I didn't want to take away from the colors. So I finally decided to find some tiny sequins and to put the tiny sequins coming out of the envelopes. The problem was, I was so picky about this. I don't know why. The sequins I had that I wanted to use, the certain color sequins, are kind of like those clear ones in the top right with the red star underneath. But they were too big. They were very big sequins. I wanted really tiny sequins. So I found this pack that I got in a Click Kits kit. It was a card making kit, and they're tiny white and tiny silver stars, and they're very tiny. But they were perfect size for these little tiny envelopes. You can see I have a whole bunch of sequins out now all over the place. And I started putting the sequins on one at a time with glue dots because I like putting sequins on with glue dots because I think they stick better than with liquid adhesive. And then I thought, there is no way I'm going to do this with 30 different 30 different sequins. So I start using, I just go ahead and start using my liquid adhesive. I hope they don't come off though with the liquid adhesive. And there is my finished page and some close-ups. There's little sequins coming out of the envelopes. And my letter to Santa. I didn't really get to talk much about these photos, but maybe I'll address it again in another video. Anyway, thanks so much for stopping by today. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you tomorrow for day 10. Happy holidays!